In the future, problems are becoming more complex. That's because of the rapid change in society, the fast evolving technologies, and also the amount of data that is involved. Designers alone cannot handle that anymore, so they kind of have to team up with other professions to be able to tackle these complex problems.
I really wonder what is the current role of designer in a multidisciplinary team, but also explore what is the potential of a designer within these kind of things. What else can we do?
Multidisciplinary, you can take a wicked problem and tackle it from different perspectives. For example, in healthcare, multidisciplinary approach is used to bring together different specialists and help someone with a complex condition. How is this approach applied in design?
I think big problems are the reason some people start their career in design. When you're tackling a wicked problem, you're not designing a chair, you're solving a problem in society.
These thoughts took us to ask, what is the role of multidisciplinarity in the future of design practice when solving wicked problems?
Okay, Alexandra, let's explain what are wicked problems.
Sure, I can start. The theory says that they are a class of social system problems which are ill-formulated, where the information is confusing, where there are many clients and decision makers with conflicting values, and where ramifications in the whole system are thoroughly confusing.
But they also have special characteristics. But there is one that causes special attention. Solving a wicked problem is a one-shot operation, with no room for trial and error.
But each wicked problem should be treated using iterative process of trial and error based on building prototypes and preliminary designed artifacts, and then testing them with the users during the design process.
Okay, but let's see what expert designers and other professionals say.
Complex problems mean things that need solutions feeding either from multiple disciplines or that require multiple different sort of modules and the orchestration of those together to create a solution for them.
The role of design for future complex problems, I think, is very important, just because I personally believe that, you know, design could also be like a mindset or an attitude and approach to something. And as someone who is, you know, very interested in complex problems like sustainability, for example, or kind of public issue, like a lot of public and social problems tend to be complex. And I really think that design is kind of one way or a very good way to kind of move ahead in the unknown, like in ambiguity. I think that that's like a very big strength or a role that design can play in the future, especially, you know, with my science background. It's very, you know, very different, you know, studying, you know, neurons or how cells work. But I think, yeah, design as a way to solve problems and to kind of, yeah, try things. That's kind of partly the reason why I want to study design.
Definitivamente, cuando se trabajan proyectos de alta complejidad, casi que es imperante trabajar de manera multitransdisciplinar. De lo contrario, no creo que se pudiera realizar proyectos complejos.
One complex problem about our group work as well is the fact that we all have very different perspectives and approaches to the same exact problem. So sometimes when we're discussing solutions and approaches, even though we all might mean the same thing, we might have trouble getting that idea across.
Apparently, wicked problems is not a common concept in design, nor in other disciplines. However, professionals are continuously facing them on other kind of complex problems in their daily life.
We see that multidisciplinarity plays a role in here, but what is it?
Yes, so multidisciplinarity and transdisciplinarity appear to be important, not just in design practice, but even more when tackling wicked problems.
The theory says transdisciplinarity widens the scope of ideas and concepts that can be recombined creatively within the divergent phase of design process.
Yes, and I should also mention that transdisciplinary innovation is about placing interactions between disciplines and other types of knowledge in an integrated system with social purpose, resulting in a continuously evolving and adaptive practice.
Trabajar con estas otras disciplinas ha sido muy interesante y enriquecedor. No ha sido solo un trabajo multidisciplinar, sino también un trabajo, yo diría más bien transdisciplinar, en donde cada uno de los investigadores aportan diferentes metodologías de trabajo.
It kind of makes it like, I guess, as a team, you're able to do a lot more than, you know, I as one person could. And yeah, but for different things, you know, it's like, hey, maybe, but then there's also kind of the difficulty and challenge of, you know, ownership. Like, okay, so, you know, when am I responsible for this and when am I hands off? And this is kind of like your part and I should respect that. Those were, yeah, kind of interesting.
Or most of the time, a short period of time, and then draw on others' knowledge or ideas or ways to tackle a problem in a way, and that way be able to get a different point of view that can help solve X problem.
Multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary become unavoidable when tackling complex and wicked problems, since they allow to have multiple perspectives and having a holistic approach to problems, gaining a better understanding on the situation.
Okay, Alexandra, what can and should be the role of design?
Well, designers' role in it is to be facilitators or mediators of the process by complex stakeholders management, which requires interdisciplinary and holistic approaches.
Yes, and also weakness of design problems requires a commitment to ongoing redesign as a way of dealing with unforeseen consequences of previous design efforts.
Interesting, Camilo. And the answers from the interviews are quite interesting as well.
For example, one of our things was to facilitate a workshop for government people to start kind of talking about innovation and to introduce them to different tools.
Creo que el diseñador cumple la función de como de traductor de necesidades y también genera unas dinámicas de co-creación muy interesantes.
So I think it will look different in the future because people are slowly realizing that the iterative process that is much more beneficial.
We have presented research, the beliefs and experiences of expert designers and other professionals. But now the question is for you. What would be your role as a designer when solving wicked problems being part of a multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary team?